Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon, a professional counselor here in Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks for joining us today for our Ask Anything series. These are questions that have been asked by you and answered by local mental health and wellness professionals. And today we are here with Kelsey Dowell. She is in school for clinical social work at Carver School of Social Work at Campbellsville University. She is currently practicing as a pre-licensed professional with Transcend Counseling Services, and she works at Safe Exchange as a weekend coordinator. She is interested in female mental health and in exploring male mental health and alternative methods for depression and anxiety and many more. She will be having a blog and resource pages and all sorts of things and resources for men coming soon. And that website will be siryourmentalhealthmatters2.wordpress.com. But if you want to learn more about her, you can reach out by email, and her email is krrdowell@yahoo.com. So, Kelsey, our question for you today is, I have been in counseling for a while and I really like it, but I don't feel like I have that many issues, and I kind of feel guilty for taking up one of my counselor's slots for clients. I mean, maybe there's someone else that has more issues that needs it more than I do. What do I do?
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people feel that way when they go into counseling because we're really tuned into all these traumatic stories and we're like, oh, they definitely need counseling. I don't need counseling. And for someone who is saying that, I think everyone can benefit from counseling. I had a friend who recently came to me and said, I just started counseling and my therapist wants me to go through all of my traumatic history. And she said, I really don't want to do that. She said, I really just want to process my week. And I said, yeah, that's totally understandable because we might not be in the right space to even deal with those traumatic problems. And that's totally okay. And for someone who is just trying to process their week and trying to get some mental health feedback or some strategies for just dealing with certain scenarios that pop up, that is totally okay. And mental health providers are there for you. So you don't have to be going through a total meltdown or traumatic experience to get some help.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think the way that like movies or TV or different things portray mental health therapy is that like someone's in crisis or someone's in a psychiatric hospital or someone's like in this like huge like traumatic part of their life and then they go to counseling. And it just doesn't always have to be like that. Like you said, like it can be for everyday maintenance or upkeep or self-care. Or, you know, eventually we've all got trauma in our lives, whatever it looks like. You can be kind of the definer of that definition. And eventually maybe you get there to process that. But it doesn't have to look like going into counseling every day and being like, okay, this terrible thing happened when I was 5. This terrible thing happened when I was 10. Yeah. So kind of what would be your overall suggestion to this individual who asked the question about like, you know, is this something that they should bring up with their like how should they kind of sort through this? Because obviously their feelings are very valid. They're trying to be conscientious of their therapist's time and everything. But yeah, what would be your suggestion to them?
I would work with your therapist with that. I would bring it up with them and just let them know, you know, I let them know if you're benefiting from it or not, but also share your concerns. Say, you know, I don't know if I'm really taking up a good time slot. And they can tell you if they feel like you need to maybe see someone else because they're, you know, they might have a niche. So it might be a traumatic care experience or, you know, a crisis type of situation. But any mental health provider is really going to want you to get the care that you need. And it doesn't have to be a traumatic experience or a traumatic counseling situation.
Yeah, I think that's great to bring it into the room with your therapist. So then that can be something that you guys work on together, because it may be a sign to you that you're ready to graduate from therapy at this time, but it also could just be a sign that like this is just another dynamic that's being brought into the therapy room that can be worked on to kind of help you in your outside life as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely so.
Very much so. Oh, well, I love that. And I really hope the individual who asked the question gets really good information from that answer as well. Is there anything else you want to leave our audience with for today?
I would just tell everyone that not to be afraid to take those first steps, because if if you feel like you're not going through a traumatic experience, but maybe something is just kind of on your shoulders or you need some extra help, someone is totally there for you. So.
Yeah. Yeah, life is tough. I mean, not that life wasn't tough before this year, but this year has really added a lot of weight onto our shoulders.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kelsey. Guys, remember, if you want to learn more about her, you can email her at krrdowell@yahoo.com, and then be on the lookout for her new site launching. She's going to have all sorts of good blogs and resources out there. And if you guys have a question that you want us to get answered by a mental health or wellness professional, go ahead and DM us and we will get it answered for you. But until next time, be safe and have a good day. Bye, Kelsey.
Bye. Thank you.